Hey everyone, welcome. What are you expecting today? Because whatever you expect, that's exactly what you're going to receive. I want to talk to you about agreement and expectation. They go hand in hand. You cannot expect something that you have not agreed to previously. In my program, I talk about making a decision. Making a decision is coming into agreement with what you're expecting or what you want to manifest. Between step number 1, which is decision, to step number 6, expectation, there is a process. We all have our own versions or our own experiences with manifesting. The bottom line is this: life is created from the union of mind and speech. That tells you that life is created from the agreement between your mind and your speech. That's what it's saying. To be one is to agree to be together. To have a baby, a mother and father have to come into agreement for both their seeds to become one. And that seed it's conceived, it's dropped in, and then it's manifested. Between your decision or your expectation, there has to be an agreement. You cannot expect something that you have not agreed to previously. The moment you make the decision or you agree with that, you have to expect it. By law, it will come. It's your agreement that releases the manifestation. So why is it that when we say I am affirmations, they don't come to manifestation? Because we don't come into agreement with that I am affirmation. We take the I am, which is the spirit, and we lower it and make it according to the flesh. I am successful. And then I think of that I am as the Luminita. I am successful. And then Luminita, of course, knows very well that Luminita is not successful. So what happens is there's a disagreement. In between Luminita, within Luminita, there's a division, there's a disagreement. Because Luminita thinks that it's up to her and it's in her strength and power to bring the manifestation to pass. Luminita is not aware that I am is the energy. And the energy does the work. All that energy is seeking is your agreement, is Luminita's agreement. So when I say I am successful, I'm thinking of Luminita, the I am, this is Luminita. And Luminita knows very well while I'm not. The moment I separate myself, meaning my awareness, and I think of the I am as being the energy in me, I am successful. Then Luminita comes rushing and submits or attaches to or becomes one with or agrees with the I am. Yes, I am successful. But how often do we do that? We only say I am, I am, I am. We might be aware that it's not me, it's that higher being, but we never come into agreement with that higher being. We just keep saying the I am, I am. So to separate yourself from the body and the energy is to always be conscious of that. But we're not. We're not. So what I have found, and this was an experiment that I have gone through, it was supernatural because I did not intend for it. But I'm going to show you another way to manifest, and it can manifest very quickly. I woke up this morning. It was a particular special day because I felt somewhat different. I don't know. I just woke up, stretch my hands, you're in bed and you stretch your hands. And all of a sudden I stretch my left arm and I look at the top of my hand and I go, wow, you have such a beautiful hand. And inside I followed with, yeah, my hand is beautiful. That was the agreement. The two became one. It seemed somewhat unusual that I said you. I go, why did I say you? But I had to go to a meeting with a photographer for lunch that day. So I went to the closet and I began to, I looked at my closet as to what it is I wanted to wear. And I was feeling in this feeling of love, of feeling good. My mind was saying, well, dress professionally because this is a professional meeting. And then I said, no, I don't dress for others. I don't dress for the occasion. I dress for how I feel. I was holding on to this good feeling. So I reached across a hanger that had a beautiful dress, knitted dress, put it on. I felt so good, and I carried this good feeling with me. I'm sitting across the table from the photographer, and he's never seen me before physically, like in person. He takes his hand, reaches across the table, touches this hand and says, "Wow, you have such a beautiful hand." Again, Luminita says, "Oh, the guy's flirting with me." And I said, "Thank you." And I continued talking because I didn't want to stop there, right? I just wanted to like get away from that as quickly as possible. And the reason I've done it is because the guy began to talk about personal relationships. And then he said that, and I thought, okay, well, let's just go where we need to go, right? So I wanted to skip that and move forward. I received a phone call. The meeting cut short. That evening, I look upon the day and I connect the dots. And I think to myself, what just happened in the morning 2 hours later? You see, it was my agreement with the vision that manifested. This felt like a dream, because when I said you, I felt as if there was someone outside of me looking at my physical body. So it felt like a whoa, right? It was like a dream, like, I don't know, like I shouldn't say euphoric, but it was strange. I did feel as if I was on the outside of my body and looking at my body. So that was a vision. You might say that was like a vision, right? Or imagination. But I had to come into agreement with it. What speeds up your manifestation is your agreement. When you decide, and where I ask my clients and say, tell me what it is you want, they're unaware to the power within them as to the agreement of what it is they want. But consciously or physically, you say, this is what I want. You're still not coming into agreement with it. To come into agreement with it is to become one with it. This is when we talk in between step 3 and number 4 in my program. When you come into agreement and how you come into agreement. Because either things happen supernatural like it happened to me, or you can make them happen. You can create on purpose. This was almost as if I was creating by not default, because I never done anything like this before. I think this was a supernatural thing helping me as a manifestation coach and as a high performance mentor on how to serve other people, to help them. So when we come into agreement, the agreement is not just by making the decision and say, yes, this is what I want. There has to be a process where the seed is being dropped. So the reason affirmations I am don't work, the reason is because we are not always conscious that there's an energy being and then there's a physical being. We're not conscious of that. So when I say I am successful, Luminita thinks, I'm not. Why is Luminita saying I am? Because I'm not. If I was going to separate the I am and say, well, wait a minute, that's the energy being, that's the higher version of me. This lower version, Luminita, has to agree with the I am. Things change. Luminita is submitted under the spirit. The flesh is under submission of the spirit. But as long as I say I am successful and I don't feel like I am, or I don't believe I am, that is when I take the energy and I lower it according to the flesh. And it's done. You can't do anything. Nothing is manifested. You're staying stuck. What the higher version of you, or the I am, is seeking your flesh to submit or come into agreement. So that is kind of difficult to do, isn't it? So what was revealed to me is that when I have an image of me, when you enter into your imagination and you begin to visualize yourself with that which you desire, you must come into agreement with it in that moment. Your agreement is you becoming one with it. So let's say the higher version of you, where we talk about identity in my first module in the program, you see yourself with a higher version of you, right? It's as if you're looking at yourself and you see the car and you see the house and you see the spouse and you see the kids and you see the money and you see the business and you see everything. Now, this lower version of you, this fleshly Luminita, must say, you look so amazing. You look so beautiful. You look so happy. You are so happy. You are so successful. You are so well respected. You are so significant. You are so worthy. You are, you are, you are. What I'm doing is I'm entering into gratitude. Gratitude is not saying thank you. Gratitude is speaking well. It's speaking the language that is in unison with that vision. That's gratitude. You are, you are, you are. What I'm doing is I'm submitting this present circumstance. I'm submitting it under the other one. I make that higher than this one. Or I make that higher version of Luminita, that new identity of Luminita, higher than this one. And I submit and I agree. Submission is agreement. And I agree. The moment I agree and I say, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Wow, I am. That is when the two become one. You have conceived. You've released the manifestation to come to reality. So in order for you to manifest quickly is to understand this power of agreement, to understand the I am affirmations. If they don't work for you, and usually don't work for people unless they're very spiritually awakened, meaning always in the spirit. Otherwise, you can use the you are affirmations and they work all the time. So what I encourage my clients is to look into the vision and then say, wow, you are so amazing. Like, wow, this is incredible. I have that money, right? So first you see yourself and you say, wow, you do have that. And then you comply or you agree and say, I have that. Yeah, I have that. If you remember, Neville Goddard went to his mentor and he said, well, nothing is happening. What did his mentor do? He said, what do you mean? You are in Barbados. You are in Barbados. You don't need to wait for someone outside of you to tell you where you are. You are successful. And you say, yeah, I am successful. You are amazing. Yeah, I am amazing. It's your agreement that releases the manifestation. That's what Neville did. And I only became conscious of that right now. You don't have to look on the outside for someone else's confirmation of your identity. You agree with that. Other people are going to have to reflect it. You don't work for your identity. And I talk about identity in my first module. It's very, very important. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. This is a very long video. Remember, it is only your agreement that releases the manifestation to come to you. So take a look in the description box below. There is the program. I would encourage you to look at it. If you are more of a hare and you're taking time and you're trying to figure things out and then make a decision as to jump into the program, that's fine. Everybody has their own time. So thank you so much for watching. With much gratitude, this is Luminita.